their wake. So some very familiar names for Juventus. One or two of the new faces being given the chance by Allegri first out. They know each other so well, of course, inside out really. They met in the Champions League final of 2014-15 in Berlin. That was Barcelona's night, their 5th triumph. No club has suffered more final heartache than Juventus. 7 times now they have lost in the UEFA Champions League final, including last time round in Cardiff. But of course this a rerun of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final of last season, when Juventus were at their very best in beating Barcelona 3-0 at home and then denying Barca another unlikely comeback in the campaign last season with a characteristic stonewall performance in the Nou Camp and a 0-0 draw. So time for the Barcelona players to focus on the football. Inevitably the transfer speculation surrounding the club has impacted on daily life since they've been here in the United States. Reports that several of the senior Barcelona players have been trying to persuade Neymar to think again about moving away. Maybe it's working. In terms of transfers, Wojciech Szczesny's completed the formalities on his move from Arsenal, but as you've seen, it is the ageless Gigi Buffon who will start in goal for Juventus. Dani Alves also departing. Matteo Di Sciglio, the highly rated youngster from Milan, has signed on for Juventus, but Stefan Lichtsteiner gets a chance to stake his claim for a more permanent role in what was once his natural position for Juventus. Bonucci's departure from Milan, for Milan, the biggest transfer story certainly of the summer, a bombshell really. Benatia will start, and behind Mandzukic, a place for the young Argentine Rodrigo Bentancur, who makes his Juve debut here this evening in New Jersey. Juventus also welcoming Douglas Costa on loan from Bayern, but Douglas Costa, like Dybala and Gonzalo Higuain, will be on the bench. And as for Barca, it's Luis Suarez, the one who misses out. He is on the Barca bench. Neymar and Messi do start. Confirmation of the starting lineups then, with Asamoah at left back and, as I mentioned, Lichtsteiner in the right full-back position in a back four. Some debate last season with Allegri and his senior players as to whether it should be a 3 or a 4. And Barcelona with Paco Alcácer up front, no Luis Suarez among the substitutes. And in the middle of the park, Sergi Samper, big moment in his Barcelona career, back from a loan spell at Granada and getting the chance to stake a claim here. Ed Jurasevich in charge. So Barcelona have ditched the garish yellow training tops for their famous Blaugrana colours. It's a great feel, two great football clubs, a great atmosphere, and the traditional great and famous colours, the black and white against the blue and red. All set, let's hope for something special here, and a welcome to Mark Rodden. Mark.
Yeah, great context to this game with the Neymar transfer saga going on. Is it all a ploy from him to get a better deal at Barcelona, or is he really on the verge of joining PSG? It would be a real bombshell. 222 million euro release clause for Neymar.
Well, they've released him immediately here, and he's already in the Juventus box. And he tried to pick out Messi rather than take on the shot himself. He didn't look like a particularly distracted fellow there, did he?
Yeah, he's got his chewing gum as well, looks fairly relaxed. And the fact he's in the starting lineup is quite significant. Massive cheers when his name was announced pre-game as well. The Barca fans really want him to stay.
All through the saga, the president Bartomeu has been trying to tell everybody it just won't happen. It cannot happen. Paris Saint-Germain cannot back up the talk. That's his position on it. But the player, as you pointed out, has the clause in his contract, and it has to be destabilising. Pitch looks very dead, incidentally. Hopefully it will hold up and help the spectacle along. Neymar. Juventus looking a bit stretched here. Messi. Well, Bonucci's not there, Dani Alves is not there, and it doesn't look anything like a Juventus defence just now.
Certainly not, sorry, at the start of this game. Huge space for Neymar to work in, and Lionel Messi trying to tee him up for a goal straight away as well. Let's talk that the Barca players might do something special if he scores to try and convince him to stay.
Javi Mascherano coming back to work with a very special natty beard. Not seen that before. We've seen this before. It's Messi. Great run, wasn't it? Very positive. Sturaro snapping away at him.
Yeah, not shown too much respect from Sturaro on that occasion. Had a couple of bites there at Messi's ankles.
Very, very businesslike from Barcelona. Almost as though they want to try to change the agenda and get everybody talking about the football, not an on-off transfer.
Yeah, well, interesting to see how Juventus do without Dani Alves and Bonucci. Bonucci a key loss too to one of their rivals, AC Milan.
Some would say they do have a ready-made replacement in Mehdi Benatia, who's been waiting for his chance, really. Let's see how he beds in this game. Neymar. Barzali had a couple of bites at it. Juve get the free kick. Mascherano.
Very shaky start from Juventus. It is their first pre-season game. They called off a tour to Mexico very late on. They were due to play a couple of games against Monterrey and Tigres. Said the schedule wouldn't allow them to provide the spectacle that the Mexican football fans would be expecting.
Lichtsteiner. Marchisio. Hoisted by Benatia. No Higuain as a target. Mandzukic, who played most of last season in a wider position, now down the middle again. Here he is.
Yeah, poor return pass there from Mandzukic for the new Juve signing, Rodrigo Bentancur.
Alexandro is another player sitting it out here, the first choice left back for Juventus. Asamoah starting in his place. Another player who perhaps feels he's not quite had the game time he deserves, and that's what competition in a squad like Juventus is all about. If a big name player is not available, injured or distracted by a transfer rumour, then the whole idea is that there's another top player to come in and maybe keep him out for a while anyway. That's how it works. Now Juve getting to the pitch of the game a little bit. Sturaro pressing forward. Off Dean, it's a Juve corner. Dean preferred to Jordi Alba here for Barcelona. Iniesta. Paco Alcácer, the player starting in place of Luis Suarez up there. Asamoah. Barzali. Marquisio. Floated over the top of Dean's head is a very good ball and a decent recovery in the end by Lucas Dean. Neymar claiming he was dragged back by Lamina.
Yeah, it was a good recovery from Dean, who has a chance to shine, and who played in Italy with Roma on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, brought in last season by Barcelona. Good few signings for big money that didn't really work out for them last season.
Here goes Neymar again, gets another free kick, little further out, and actually that might help get the ball up and over the wall this time. We shall see. Barca wanted to get on with it quickly.
Yeah, Neymar's had a chance to find his range as well. Just saw a Barca fan pre-game holding up a jersey with Barca 6, PSG 1 on the back of it. I'm sure he had that anyway, but probably brought it along specially as a message to Neymar that perhaps, well, Barca are a special club, PSG not quite there yet. That incredible turnaround in the Champions League started by a Neymar free kick last season.
Mandzukic and Rakitic are international teammates, good friends actually. Messi's the orchestrator.
Just the first game for Barcelona as well, so they'll be a little bit rusty. Although it's been a high-tempo start to this game so far. Important season for both these teams, with Juve winning 6 in a row in Italy, but AC Milan spending up to 200 million euros this summer on a bid to dethrone them.
Here comes Lamina.
And Barca have a new coach as well in Ernesto Valverde. Winning the Copa del Rey doesn't really cut it at Barcelona anymore, if that's the only trophy you win in a season.
Piqué. Alex Vidal in at right back for Barcelona. Messi shaped to run in behind. Alcacer couldn't quite get on it, but dropped nonetheless for Messi. Off the heels of Benatia, returned by Rakitic. Marquisio. Sturaro. Little by little, we're learning a little bit more about the circumstances surrounding the departure of Bonucci. I was actually at the Champions League game, Mark, when Bonucci was suspended, the Porto tie. 3 days before that, all the rumours had been that there had been a major row in the dressing room between Bonucci and Allegri, and of course at the time they poo-pooed it all. No, it happens every day, just two professionals exchanging opinions. But once he'd signed on the dotted line for Milan, he said, look, that wasn't the beginning of the end, that was when I knew I had to leave.
Yeah, the final straw was the way he put it. And he could be a big loss. He's 30 years old now, but Juventus getting the best of 40 million euros for him. But as I say, there's a lot of competition coming up in Italy this season. Milan signing 10 players. Inter have their Chinese investors. Roma and Napoli will be keen to push on as well.
All the talk at the time in Italy was that the debate, and I understood, I was told, that Bonucci wasn't the only player to have had that debate with Allegri, including the goalkeeper. He had made his opinions felt when Allegri was considering going away from the back three, which has served them so brilliantly, to a back four. And noteworthy that they're starting with a back four in this game, I think.
Yeah, Allegri's not afraid to make big decisions, though, having got rid of Andrea Pirlo at Milan. Didn't work out for him, though, because Pirlo went to Juventus and won the title ahead of Allegri's Milan side.
Allegri honest enough to say, actually, that he recognises was possibly his biggest mistake in management. He's done all right since. Rakitic, of course, a scorer in the Champions League final when they beat Juventus. Iniesta. Piqué to Mascherano. At least I think it's him underneath that beard. That luxuriant beard. Switch by Rakitic. Nice weight on it too. Buffon gets down sharply, and he had to. Alves Vidal made great space for himself, and it was on target. Piqué's got a turn here, he's in a bit of trouble. Here goes Sami Khedira. Marquisio. Sturaro, nice ball. Side netting for Mandzukic.
Yeah, surprising one really. Mandzukic had a lot of time to pick his spot there. He's so good in the air. Lovely teasing ball in from Sturaro as well. And chances at both ends. It's been a good start to this one.
High quality, as we hoped it might be here in this International Champions Cup 2017 meeting in the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. But there was a buzz all around New York City, all around the metropolitan area. Started in exciting fashion, and Neymar's been full of it. Goes again here, Neymar, and he scores! Well, that's what you get for the money.
Well, it had to be Neymar, didn't it? Linking up with Messi, lovely little ball through. And the 1-2 cutting open the Juve defence. And he did very well in the end to hold off Lichtsteiner. Great little touch before he fired it home. And a good advertisement for what he could bring to PSG and what he will bring to Barcelona if he stays. He really looks up for this game. And he puts Barca in front.
He's actually looked irresistible from the off in this game.
Well, he's proving a point to somebody. We're not quite sure who. Because PSG have to stump up the cash if they want to sign Neymar. And Barcelona might have to as well if they want to keep him.
Khedira, cut out by Mascherano. Mascherano again at the stretch. Nicely won by Messi. Well, where was Lichtsteiner? And Benatia had to step out and do all that defending by himself then. There was a huge space in behind.
Sliding tackle in there from Leo Messi as well.
Juventus looking particularly vulnerable down their right side here. I only mention that because obviously they've got a major new talent just arrived from Milan in De Sciglio, but the veteran Lichtsteiner given the job today. And Juve opened up again. Barcelona's movement looking really impressive here. Iniesta. Rakitic made a forward run. Samper providing the drive from midfield. And Lichtsteiner gives it away again. Looking a bit uncomfortable here, Lichtsteiner. Messi.
Now Lichtsteiner is 33 years old now. He's been a great servant for Juventus. He's one of 6 players, or he was one of 6 players that was part of the team that won 6 titles in 6 years. Bonucci has now left, so it's down to 5.
Mandzukic on the run. Bentancur needs to be a bit sharper than that. Lemina. Bit hopeful that, wasn't it?
He's not a great goal scorer, Lemina.
Nothing hopeful about the way Neymar carved Juve open and finished it all off. Alcacer. So much room again down this side. Neymar allowed to go on, and Lucas Digne was standing there with so much space. Neymar working back hard. Sturaro came away with it. Khedira. Barzagli. As you rightly said, Mark, Lichtsteiner has been a part of the fabric at Juventus for a long, long time, but for most of those seasons he was playing as a wing-back with those famous 3 centre-backs. Orthodox full-back role for him, to, at least for this evening, and getting to know the role again, it would appear.
Yeah, looks a lot more vulnerable, doesn't he? Doesn't have the pace maybe to play it anymore, but I like Sturaro's attitude. He's really getting stuck in,
as he always does. Mini Marquisio, if you like.
And rewarded with a new contract back in December as well, extended deal, so he's obviously a key part of the manager's plans.
Silas in goal for Barcelona with Marc-Andre Ter Stegen still on extended leave following the FIFA Confederations Cup, where he had a very successful time with Germany.
Well, Sillerson barely played last season, so he'll be hoping for more action. And Barcelona only winning the cup last season, but it's easy to forget that they didn't do all that much wrong either, at least in the league. They actually outscored and had a better defence than Real Madrid. 116 goals in 38 matches, just 37 conceded, but still 3 points behind Madrid in the table.
90 points to 93 for Real Madrid. They won the title the season before with 91, season before that 94. So we are talking elite level of performance, aren't we? A win on the last day of La Liga at Eibar in vain. They actually came from 2-0 down on the last day to win 4-2. Luis Enrique's last day in charge in La Liga. But when they came off, the news was bad. Real had done what they needed to do elsewhere.
And then in Europe was really where they looked a bit under par. At 6-1 against PSG in the second leg. They lost the first 4-0, of course, and then shut out completely by Juventus over the 2 legs of their quarter-final.
Asamoah pulled down. They're running the show here, aren't they? Even without Luis Suarez, Messi and Neymar really at it.
Yeah, Messi's got himself into a few scraps. A couple of good tackles, a couple of bad ones.
Taken down by Mandzukic. Here's Lichtsteiner. Mascherano trying to attack it. Did a good job. Not much of him, of course, Mascherano, in the height sense. Up against Lamina there. Valverde, arriving from Athletic Bilbao. He'd actually managed them in 2 spells. Had a brief playing career at Barcelona long ago. Allegri dampening down any speculation that he might be thinking about moving on quite quickly at the end of the season. And despite what was a heartbreaking disappointment, the way they did not perform in the second half of the Champions League final, at it again, or they want to be at it again. They're working hard, first day back at work proper today, just to contain Barcelona. Rakitic to Iniesta. Dean. Were there signs in that little conference at pitchside that Juventus feel they've got to change things around here, I wonder, Mark?
Yeah, might do. It's Barcelona who look a lot more likely at the moment to get another goal.
Sergi Samper. Alex Vidal just showed a bit too much of it. Khedira gets the throw for Juve. Khedira had the summer off, of course. Not required by Germany, as the next generation press their claims.
Smart move from Jogi Löw, that, to leave out some of those senior players who've played a hell of a lot of football over their careers already. And with the World Cup coming up in 2018, a chance to blood some new players. Some of them did very well indeed, and Germany winning the Confederations Cup with all their major stars to come back into it.
Khedira and Kroos probably still very much to the forefront of the manager's mind, as well as those who went to Russia did. But they've got to put the level of consistency together again through the coming season. They know that now. Neymar. They can't contain him. He's gone through the whole lot of them. Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Well, it's a stratospheric transfer fee they're talking about, and quite honestly, he looks on another planet in this game.
Yeah, his first goal was good, his second was outrageous. Absolutely no room for him to work with. Danced across the penalty area, and no chance for Buffon as well.
He's not doing that to some makeshift pre-season celebrity team. He's doing that to Juventus, and the goalkeeper is Gigi Buffon. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, Benatia lost him. Barzali had no chance. And a good finish as well. Absolutely outstanding from Neymar.
It's one thing to talk the talk, but to walk the walk, as this player is doing in this game, wow.
Well, the conversation with the chairman is going to be pretty interesting after this match. I think Neymar can name his price. If it is a better contract that he's after, or assurances about him being a major figure at Barcelona, one of the stars, maybe the future. Messi's still as brilliant as ever, but 30 years old now. Maybe Neymar is the man to take this Barcelona team on.
Well, he's taking on Juventus all by himself at the moment. Iniesta's just sitting in the middle of the park, watching the show. Just truly remarkable.
It's also a sign as well. Very few of these pre-season friendlies are meaningless nowadays for these top teams. Saw Lukaku for Manchester United, and that win over Manchester City as well. Getting the bragging rights, maybe a psychological edge for later in the season. And this one means a lot with all the talk around Neymar.
Messi gets on with it. He's on a hat-trick, Neymar, lest we forget. With a long, long way to go in this game. Switch by Marquisio. It's reached Lichtsteiner. Tried to give it to Lamine. It wasn't really on, was it? Iniesta at the walk, strolling around, sorts it all out.
Now, granted, that is a Juve defence without the departed Bonucci and without Chiellini, who's not involved at the moment. But it's a Barca attack without Luis Suarez as well. But Neymar can do it all on his own, it seems.
Sergi Samper.
There is a release clause in his contract, of course, but PSG will have to agree terms with the player too. Either way, he'll have earned himself a bit more money, I think.
Well, the money's just fantasy talk in a sense. It doesn't bear any relationship to real life for normal people, all this in the modern game, but he is looking a priceless talent.
Yeah, exactly. You think it's a massive figure, the release clause, 222 million in his contract, but very few players in the world can do what he's just done.
Juventus really look shell-shocked, don't they? They've just begun to work their way into the game. Neymar's now proved he's human after all, but Messi has it. Here comes the next wave. Alcacer, he knew that Neymar was there. Lichtsteiner at the stretch, got enough on it just. Iniesta, what a little ball that is. I think Juve should start worrying if Barcelona really do get into top gear in this game, don't you?
Yeah, Juve just about hanging on there. Virtually every attack at this stage. It's a case of firefighting for Juve right now. Need to try and get a foothold in the game somehow.
Marchisio. Trying to get Juve going, but he's run up a blind alley there, and there's a lot of that with Juventus at the moment. They don't look particularly structured. Admittedly, without Higuain and Dybala, who were their main men up front last season, there's nothing happening out there for Juve. And
talk of Coutinho and Dybala replacing Neymar. Should he go? They'd have to up their game, judging by this, to replace Neymar, who's still only 25, remember. That's his best years in front of him.
Nicely worked again, beautifully done. Good cover by Benatia. Alcacer denied. Got 6 goals from his limited game time in La Liga last season, Alcacer.
It's almost like everyone's taking a collective breather just to take in what they've just witnessed.
Fadua Samoa. Lamine is doing his best to put himself about and try to energise this performance a little bit. The crowd are absolutely in raptures here in the MetLife Stadium. They've got already what they came for, Mark. Those moments of magic.
Absolutely. A few more to come, no doubt.
Messi. Not quite the angle on it for Alcacer. And he's not quite as sharp over the ground as Luis Suarez, in fairness. Alves Vidal wasn't holding back with that. Only back from long-term injury himself, Alves Vidal, of course.
And he's got the first yellow of the game.
Well, is it for him or Rakitic? I don't know. Rakitic maybe trying to be the intermediary.
Didn't look that bad on second viewing.
We believe it was for the tackle, not the chat. A rare touch for Silerson here.
That might sound a bit harsh, but I think he's an example of where Barcelona got it wrong last season with their transfers. Alca there as well. Andre Gomes, Portuguese midfielder, was their most expensive recruit, and he had a nightmare of a time. Big step up from Valencia to Barcelona, even if he was part of the Portuguese side that won Euro 2016.
Swept across the face of goal by Lucas Digne. Alcacer, the former Valencia man, got there. Rakitic to Messi. Just incredible telepathic link-up play between the two of them. The whistle had gone. It's a free kick to Barcelona. Had the referee played the advantage, who knows?
There's still quality play from Messi at the end of it. That's the only way Juve can handle Neymar right now.
Unless they actually just put handcuffs on him. Time for plan B, perhaps.
Might be on to C or D by now.
Neymar on a hat-trick, remember, but it's Messi this time. And that's Messi defending by Juventus. Mandzukic tried to put it in the Hudson River.
Unusual to see Barcelona have 3 free kicks and come nowhere near scoring on any of them. That's a sign of the times, though. That clearance for Juventus anywhere will do, just to give themselves a chance to regroup.
Neymar's taking the corner. Iniesta. Just strolling around, picking out the passes.
Some very good players out there for Juve right now. It's not their strongest team, but they're being made to look pretty ordinary at the moment.
You're right, and you know it is a Juventus team, and it's in the club's DNA. Whoever's playing on any given day, you'll make it difficult for the opposition. That's the one thing they do par excellence, and they have just been embarrassed, really, in certain aspects so far. Tidy by Sergi Samper. Rakitic. Mascherano, no pressure at all on the ball. That's one standout feature, making it much easier for Barcelona, and that is not the Juventus way. Just a hit and hope, really, from Lichtsteiner, wasn't it? Nothing doing there for Juve. And normally they've got Alexandro down that left side, who is an absolute flyer. Asamoah's a steady citizen by comparison. At least he's picked out a decent ball, and the ball to Lamina wasn't good enough from Sturaro.
Pretty basic stuff there from Juventus. Chance for them to get back into the game.
One back by Marchisio. PK, no problems at all. Mandzukic frustrated with himself.
Well, he had that big chance from the header. Mandzukic in most of the big games for Juventus last season, of course, sacrificing himself by playing out on the left wing.
He's a big fella, and they tell me his ego is about as big as he is, so it was against his better judgment to do it for the good of the team, and it was a winning team, of course, but he will have probably seen today as an opportunity to say to the manager, you know, it's a new season and really I am a central attacker, so can we forget last year? The only problem is they have been taken apart in this first half.
I think it's a sign of a good manager that he was able to get Mandzukic to agree to that. He was pretty effective in that role as well.
As ineffective as Mandzukic has been in this first half, Rodrigo Bentancur, I'm afraid, is having a debut to forget for Juventus so far. Here's Neymar. Messi. Neymar for three. Well, between them, Juve's desperate defenders got it clear to deny him the hat-trick.
Well, that would have been perfect. Absolutely glorious scooped pass from Messi to set it up as well.
Yet another free kick, and Marchisio getting a bit tired of all this, a bit frustrated, a bit embarrassed. Barzali coming in to act the peacemaker. No point people losing their heads about it.
I think Neymar proved Marchisio's point by hopping straight back up there. Need to see the replay, of course, but Neymar's back on his feet now.
Well, that's Marchisio's case, but Neymar will say, you know, don't take me down and expect me to be happy about it.
Yeah, there's a clear foul as well. Marchisio just didn't want them to stay down and make too much out of it. I suppose it's understandable his frustration. He is from Turin, one of the men as well who won the 6 titles in a row, along with Buffon.
The only thing that they've done well in this first half is that they've put up a defensive wall, and all the free kicks from these positions so far have hit the wall. I know it's a bit like clutching at straws, but it's been that kind of game. What this time? Messi, and Buffon gets a hand on it.
And Buffon made that look pretty easy. Good free kick this time from Messi. Well, I don't think he did get a touch, did he? Maybe a slight touch. Tipped the woodwork in the way as well.
Neymar takes it. Asamoah caught in a dither here, and he's lost the ball. Messi. Asamoah doing his very best to dig himself and his teammates out, and he just about did that. Nobody said it was going to be a friendly, incidentally.
Yeah, Lichtsteiner signalling that there was an elbow in there somewhere. He'd recognise one. He's master of the dark arts himself.
Certainly an irony in that. Iniesta just has glue on his boots, doesn't he? It's just ridiculous how easy he has always made the game look. Dani. Here comes the circus master, taking on and torturing Lichtsteiner again.
think Lichtsteiner's maybe a little unfortunate there.
The card has been brandished again. It may have been for Lichtsteiner, not Sturaro. We'll try and confirm that for you. To me, there was more of Lichtsteiner than Sturaro in that, but
I'm not sure there was much of a foul, though.
Well, everybody here is standing to applaud because it has been utterly remarkable. Neymar, with so much speculation swirling around, has put it all to one side and stolen the show completely. Even Messi has had to play a secondary role, but the link-up play between the two has been way too good for one of the best opponents they're ever going to face. Juventus just torn asunder by Neymar, Messi, Iniesta and the rest, and for a first day back it's hard to beat.